Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Alicia. Welcome to the family. Today we're going to be talking about books that, because of some reason, intimidate the shit out of me. So without any further ado, let's get right into the books. So I found a common trend among these books, and it's that they tend to be my larger book. The ones that have a heavy page count. Besides that, they're across different genres, with the exception of few. The first book that really intimidates me is Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. This is, I believe, a classic. A lot of people talk about this book and talk about how magnificent this book is and how great it is. And I mean, to be honest, I don't really know much about this book. It's technically not mine. It was Ben, my fiance, who picked it up. He really wants to read it, which also makes me really want to read it. And we found it at a thrift store for like $2. So we're like, let's pick it up and read it. We haven't touched it since we bought it. So here it is. And look at this. It's hefty. It's upwards of 1,000 pages. So by the way, if you've read any of the books on this list, let me know down below how your reading experience went with all of these. That way, hopefully I get less intimidated by them. The next book on this list is similarly large, and that is Shogun by James Clabel. I was supposed to read this back in December of 2020. It obviously didn't happen because it is on this video. Like, this book can probably kill someone. Like, if I had this book up on that top shelf and it fell on me, I could probably die. Like, look. But I love the artwork on it, and I think it's a very beautiful book. That's originally what caught my attention, if I'm being honest. And it just sounds like it's going to be a great story. So I'm really excited to start it. I'm just scared to start it. The next book on this list is called War and Peace, and this is by Leo Tolstoy. Obviously, this is a classic. It's a Russian classic, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, it's just one of those books that I've always wanted to read for one reason or another. And I just, in general, want to read more Russian literature in the future. But man, this one's hefty. Like, it's just a really big book. Yeah, this one's like upwards of 1,300 pages. And next book on this list is none other than 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. This one isn't as big as all of the other books that I mentioned. I believe it's about 1,200 pages, so it's still a pretty large page count, but not as much as some of the others that I mentioned. I don't know what intimidates me about this book, but I do have it sitting on a shelf, and every single time I walk by, I feel like the lady on the cover is just staring at me, like staring me down, like, read me. Another book on this list is a pretty short one compared to all the others, and this is Cien Años de Soledad, which is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I do have the Spanish version, and if I'm being honest, that's probably why I'm intimidated by it. I haven't been reading in Spanish as much as I would like to, and this is an older work, so I feel like the writing might be a little bit dense, especially in Spanish. So, you know, I just have to pick up and read it, and I'm sure once I get into the groove of things, it might be easier to read. It's just one of those that I just have to take a plunge into, just like every other one. So another book that I have on this list that I'm intimidated by, and luckily I was able to get the UK version, so it's divided into 2 books, which makes it more palatable for me. It's The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 1 to the Stormlight Archives, if you're not familiar. Like I mentioned, I do have it in 2 books, and each of them is over 500 pages, I believe. But it's nice that I can pick one up and not feel like I'm carrying a brick around. It'll be really friendly to my wrist, so that's a plus. Maybe I'm just afraid of not liking it. I know people who love Brandon Sanderson love the Stormlight Archives, and I read The Final Empire, and even though I really enjoyed it, it was like a solid 4-star read for me. I wasn't like blown out of my mind or anything like that. So I guess I'm just afraid to start and not like these books. But you know, everybody has different reading tastes, so if I don't like them, then you know, that's fine. 2 more books on this list. These are compendiums of short stories and novellas. The first one is called The Weird, a compendium of strange and dark stories. This is edited by Anne and Jeff Vandermeer. It's just a collection of like the new weird genre and a bunch of its writers. We have authors like Neil Gaiman in here, and Kelly Link, Haruki Murakami, George R.R. Martin is in here, which I found strange. But yeah, I guess it's just the vastness of how big this is, but I feel like this is one where I can just pick up one story at a time and I should be fine. And then the last one is another compendium. This is the Big Book of Science Fiction, also edited by Anne and Jeff Vandermeer, and this is just a collection of science fiction stories. We have people like Isaac Asimov or Ursula K. Le Guin. We also have Ted Chiang and H.G. Wells, So definitely a lot of well-known authors. Again, I just need to go ahead and pick it up. I believe the stories in here are very short, a couple of pages long. It just, these two, for some reason, feel like textbooks to me because of their like largeness and vastness. Yeah. So those are all the books on my physical TBR that intimidate me. Let me know down below if any of these intimidate you, or if you've read them. Let me know how you liked them, how your reading experience was. If you made it this far, leave a cat emoji down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!